Welcome to the Boston's Big Four podcast. Cast. New news about music and sports every week, sometimes.
Back, episode 62 of Boston's Big Podcast. We got Knasty with us.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Quincy's own, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How's quarantine going for you? How's the music life during quarantine?
Same
I feel like
old
that's
shit.
how we start all our interviews now, but it's like the main thing that everyone's, we're all going through it.
Yeah, we're curious everyone's take on the situation.
Right.
I try to put in like as much hours as I would like on a day to work. You know what I mean? Like at least 8 hours on the laptop, like whether it's making beats or writing, recording, some shit. But
It's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
like I was going strong for like 3 or 4 weeks, but you know what I mean? It's been like 2 months now, so
Yep.
we are hurting.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean,
like the consumption is at an all-time high.
True.
oh yeah, we're just pouring in media from everywhere, burn
No,
through
I'm
like
talking about,
10
like,
shows.
Weed,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, that.
All consumption of all kinds. Yes, of course.
Food too.
for sure. For sure.
You know, just being in the house.
I love
It's
it. I
like,
got no complaints. You know what I mean? Like I miss like seeing the homies and like getting up and doing shows, but like it's the life. You know what I mean? Like why
right.
would you want to get up and like make a fat breakfast every day and just like make music in your room. You know what I
It's
mean?
funny you say that because I before all this happened, just like daily grind stuff, we all get worn down. I remember thinking, I'm like, man, I need like a 2-month vacation. And not that this has been a vacation, but like to not have to commute, to just like, I'm pretty much in one spot all the time. You can take care of business like in one place and there's a lot less running around. It definitely was kind of a lull that I did need.
The world's never gonna stand still like this again. You know what I mean?
Right,
So if
yeah.
you don't just like sit and enjoy it, you blew it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, there's definitely, and as far people are taking advantage of the stock market. I mean, it sucks if you took losses while it was dipping, but I mean, things happen. Things are cyclical. So
Yeah.
we're doing what we can with it. But so I've been following your Instagram. It looks like you've been doing a lot with like the sampler and stuff. How have you been cooking up with that still?
That was like a panic buy. Like everybody was like copping fucking toilet paper and shit. I was on Sweetwater looking at beat makers and shit.
So
But,
why'd you pick that model? Did you were you like
so-
browsing?
There's like I've been like kind of like aroused by this thing for like the past couple of years. Bring it back to like y'all know my elevator project.
Yep.
Like so like Billy Loman and Lightfoot. When I was cooking with them, we was linking up in the studio every time, like not recording or nothing. I was just like watching them make beats. And one of their homies, D-Phrase, would bring one of these down. And they would fucking play with it, and like I thought it was crazy. Like it looks like a fucking big ass calculator. You know what I mean? It's like, how the fuck do they work that shit?
Yeah.
And then fast forward, like Lightfoot bought one. Like he just makes that shit look crazy easy. He's like a freak on it. And then a month or so ago, I was with Champ Chuck at his crib. And he had just got one. He was having mad fun with it. I was like, damn, that looks dope. Like, I'm gonna be locked in the crib. Like, that might be something good to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I ordered that shit. It came the day after I fucking lost my job. So I was fucking off and running with it.
There you go. It takes one thing for the next. You pass the baton. There you go.
Yeah,
One door closes, another opens.
Yeah, exactly.
definitely. So it was
Do
like
the samples
that
come
next day.
preloaded on that, or do you have to find them?
Yeah, so like it comes with a fucking SD card on it. Like I got it right here. And in the fucking bottom. You just pop the SD card out. And it comes with like a whole like bank of samples, but I had a bunch of homies like bless me with fucking sound kits and shit. So you put the SD card in your computer and there's a software that brings the grid up with like all the different pads and shit, and you just like drag the sound you want to the pad number, and then when you put it back in, it like routes it right there.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, that's because I know certain like less intuitive interfaces. That's like you have to do that a little more manually. So that's like that's pretty nice that it gives you the interface.
It's pretty user friendly.
Yeah. So I guess before all this though, you had a show scheduled. It was like today or something, I think, as we record this.
Me and Mark. Shout out
Yeah,
Casa.
you and Casso. Yeah.
Casso had a show?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And,
It was
I
supposed to be either tonight or tomorrow. It was
Damn.
the whole
scheduled.
time I kept thinking that shit ain't gonna get canceled. That's fucking end of May. Like,
Right, exactly.
canceled.
Yeah, I can't
like,
believe it.
if you like, y'all know how like both like me and his shows go like separate from each other. You know what I mean? Shit would have been fun as fuck.
Oh yeah, no, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. That's
Yeah, with the combined, yeah. I mean, I've seen you perform twice, and I've seen Casso once, and I mean,
like we
they're
did like
live.
his first show I opened up, but I didn't perform at his second one.
yeah.
And then he was supposed to perform at my second one, but he had committed to something else like prior. But he still pulled up because he's a real one.
Of course,
Yes, he is.
He certainly is. Shout out Casso.
Big shout out, Casso.
You guys
So,
have a song together, right? On
on Amateur Rockstar
2, I think, right?
2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you started the year last year. You dropped Amateur Rockstar in January, and then you dropped the sequel. What was the process like making those albums?
So the first one, it was like I had just got back from my move to LA, and I was just like, I just dropped Elevator. I made Elevator, so like we were just talking about it. So I made that in like the months before leaving. Went there, and in the 8 weeks I was there, I recorded the whole shit, and I fucking bounced out the final master. Like the last day I was in LA, and like it was a good thing because like if I didn't, it would have been like very difficult to put out.
Right.
The next day I had to like emergency leave LA, came home, dropped that shit. Then I'm gonna try to find the picture. So Amateur Rockstar came because I took a trip to Atlanta for A3C. It was I went with my homie Bryce. We like rented a Porsche. It was crazy.
Oh man.
Word.
But I was walking by this porn shop. It had a big marquee outside. And it said like some like stupid shit, but I just like stood underneath it and took a picture, and it kind of like it reminded me of like an amateur porn star at like his like movie release or some shit.
Yeah.
So, like,
okay.
So I was like,
that's
amateur
pretty
porn
funny.
star, amateur rock star, and just like clicks. Like you never think about shit too much. It just like clicks instantly. You know what I mean? So like amateur rock star, like I knew that was it, and then went from there. Like made the shit, but like the vibe that like I got from dropping the first one and running with it made like my life just like mad fun. And then the second one, like all the songs just kind of came. You know what I mean? Like I recorded like a couple in LA, like song 2X 2 times.
I love that song. That's probably my favorite one.
I was asleep when I recorded that.
Really?
What
do you mean?
I got to LA like the end of the day, but it's like the time change and shit. So like on my clock it was like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
But my homie Philippe Flux, I met him at Bay State like way back in the day.
Okay.
He like you remember like the School and Knock mixtape, like the Knasty mixtape before I was Knasty when I was still Knockout. Like he produced like whole albums for me. I hadn't seen him in like 3 years, so we pulled up in LA because he lives in San Diego, and it was like the only night I was gonna see him, so we had to get this record done. I was literally falling asleep writing this shit. I like didn't want to do it. He's like hyping me up. Recorded the verse, and it was like my favorite song on the project.
Yeah, that song's fire. That song's fire. That's Glass House on the Hook, right?
Yep.
Formerly Kincaid.
And then that same week, I had the single dropping. Like the album wasn't done, but I had the single dropping, so it was like preparing for shit. But I was in Vegas. Y'all know Petros?
I've heard of Petros.
Fucking.
I think Casso brought up Petros
he's
at one
from
point.
over here, but he's just been out west forever. But me, him, and Glasshouse were in Vegas and like got fucked up and tripped balls. Like had ourselves a night.
There you go.
We were out at breakfast, and I'm looking at my phone, and I was like, "Yo, my single dropped today." I completely forgot. But like I didn't post nothing. I didn't hype it up. Forgot what was happening.
Wow.
Hey, it happens. We've all done it.
Right.
But so throughout this, like, when did you, like, as far as you were in LA for, was it a year, or how long were you in LA?
2 months.
2 months. Oh shit. Okay.
I was planning on being there for like a longer time, but shit happens. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course. Yeah. So
like some family shit I had to rush home for.
Definitely, yeah. You got to do what you got to do. And did you release? So you said you released the album just before you left. Amateur Rockstar, the first one. Yeah,
the first one. It was in January. After I came back in August. In between August and like December, I made it, and I dropped it in January.
So had the majority of it been recorded in LA, and then when you came back, it was like pretty much just finishing it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember I had been following you. I was put on to you, I think, right before you went out to LA, and I remember just seeing, like, watching that whole process, and then coming back, and I remember you posting at the time, like, I believe this is my most polished project, and I was listening, like, and it certainly was, like, obviously all those songs bang.
That was like a wild year because like I did like A3C in October in Georgia like 2 years ago. And that was when I met the Palmer Squares. I came back from that. That was in October. And
I know Owen wants to talk about that.
I do want to talk about that.
Big Palmer Squares fan.
In a while, but that was in October, and in December I went on an East Coast tour from like Mass, New York, like 3 shows in New York, Philly, like Rhode Island, New Hampshire. After that was South.
This was all in a row. Like you basically just went up the coast.
That was December. Like that was all in like a week. We did like 10 shows in like. No, it was like 8 shows in 10 days or some shit like that.
Was this the time with the Porsche? Did you ride the Porsche all the way up?
No. So
that'd have been amazing.
That's like further down the line.
Oh, gotcha.
So that happened, and then we went to A3C in South by Southwest in Texas, and that's where I met Casso. I had known about him like from up here, but I had like never met him until we went down there.
That's interesting.
I was like with my homies from here that live in LA. And like they was just like we were just having so much fun. I was like, damn, I like need to be out there with y'all. Like fuck, like being back home. So that was in March, and like May 25th. Like I went home. Decided, I'm gonna move to LA in March, and like May I had a fucking one-way plane ticket, packed up all my shit and left. And then I was back by like mid-July. So it was very quick. But I had a job. I was killing it. But when I went out there, and like 3 days later, we went on like a West Coast tour and went from fucking Seattle all the way down to Vegas and like.
Oh shit!
Wow, crazy. Casa was there for that shit as well.
Damn, that's fine.
So came home, and then like a month after I came home is when we went to Atlanta, and we rented the Porsche and hit Magic City and like had ourselves a time.
What was that like?
That was fun. It was
whipping around in a Porsche.
The second time, it was funner when I was hanging out with the Palmer Squares, Atlanta, because I went to Atlanta 3 times.
So I've actually, I did have a question about that, particularly because I had heard that story told from their perspective on their podcast. So I did actually want to go through that with you.
Crazy is like they were super detailed in that.
Oh, you heard it?
Ack was taking notes the whole time.
While you were hanging?
Yeah, because he was like, I'm gonna be mad drunk. Spilled on my lap. Mad drunk.
So he's taking notes.
Shit. So he had a note and the shit. So then like the homies were like hella surprised when they listened to the podcast, and they were like calling them by like their first names and shit, and like had like every detail of the story down. You know what I
mean? Yeah. Because I'm a little foggy on it. I want to run through just that particular time because you guys were with Mercules too, right?
Yeah.
And, Mercules.
Yeah, they
was there as well. Damn.
It was he was supposed to do a show, and they were staying at the same hotel as us. So like this was after we had already spent like a night like wilding out. They hit me and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna go meet Mercules. Y'all want to come?" And we were just like, "Hell yeah!" So we went to the show he was supposed to perform at. He just wasn't there, so we like hit him up and was like, "What's the deal?" He's like, "Oh, that shit was cheeks." Like I fucking slid him out of there. But stay right there. I'll be there in a minute. And like sure enough, his fucking cab pulls up. And Atlanta, the bars are open till like 6 a.m. So we just walked around the spot. Like,
but wasn't there like a changeover from like how they told the story? Didn't you guys have to like rebuy your way in?
Yeah.
And I think like that is
Hercules
nuts.
paid our like we got there, it was like a $20 cover, and we were all just like, fuck that. Mercules was like, there's booze in there, we're going in. A lot of hundreds and like pays our way. When
Damn.
them hit, it was a different DJ, so it was a different party. So we had to pay a second cover. He pulled them out, like paid again.
So that's generous.
His manager was like falling over drunk, so he was like, I gotta take this dude home.
Damn.
Then the next day, Mercules had his like main stage set. So Mercules was on like 2 PM, and then
Okay.
like later that night, Nas was on like the same stage. So it was like
Oh shit.
his first big show in like the US, but it was pouring fucking rain.
Oh, of course.
Us like them too. And my two homies, we stood like front row, dripping fucking wet, like hyped it up for this dude. So when he got off, he got us all fucking backstage passes to like shit you like couldn't buy. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
that's
Wow.
sick.
did you see Mercules put like? Did either y'all follow him?
Yeah.
Mercules on IG. Did you see that picture he posted with Joyner Lucas the other day?
Yeah, I did see that.
I was standing right there.
Oh, really?
Like,
Wow.
Joyner was on the phone with like his baby moms or some shit, and like was not like in a good mood, and like that dude just bum rushed him for a picture, and like
Really?
it was cool, yeah.
Damn.
Man.
But I met like fucking mad people. Like I was sitting at couch because like it was like the artist lounge, you know what I mean? Like we was not supposed to be back there, so I was just like playing it cool as hell. Like I'm sitting down, and like Static Select is sitting next to me.
Oh shit.
Wow.
And I had like
Damn.
a Sox jersey on, so he's like, "Oh shit, like what's up?"
Hmm.
It was just like
Wow.
crazy.
Static Selecta, Mercules, Joyner Lucas, like that's
Y'all know who Saba is?
yeah, yep.
SABA. So I
Yep.
was like big on him at the time, and the Palmer Squares like know him because he's from Chicago.
Mhm.
Yeah, they have a
So, like,
song together. I think
I went out
C4
to-
mentioned Saba.
I went out
Yeah,
to
he did.
watch fucking Joyner Lucas's set, and I came back, and Palmer Squares were just talking to Saba. So I just
Wow.
walked up and like inserted myself in the conversation. I couldn't even like fan out and just be like, "Yo, you're fucking amazing." But like,
Yeah.
dap him up, and be like, "All right, peace."
That's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
gotta play it
That's
cool.
awesome.
That is
That was a
awesome.
good weekend.
That makes it even cooler though
Definitely,
when you
like,
play
a
it cool.
highlight of the whole fucking journey was like that weekend, and like specifically
Yeah.
that night, because I'm like, Nas
Sounds
performed,
unreal.
and like I said, it was pouring rain, but we were in like the VIP tent, so we were just watching Nas like super close up. I got like Term next to me and shit.
Mm.
Never,
Oh my
like,
God.
imagine like that, like I'd be calling that like the homie.
Right.
Yeah, they're fun guys, it seems, to hang with. I mean, they like, as far as like attending shows and hearing, I had heard basically everything you were talking about, like from their perspective, and they were like in the
They
same
spent the night
situation.
here last time they came here.
That's dope.
I was at that show. Of course, yeah, we said that was.
I gotta get y'all sitting down with them next time.
Oh, that would be.
Yeah, no,
unbelievable.
that would be unreal. That'd be unreal.
Yeah, shout out Palmer Squares.
Owen put me onto them maybe like 4 years ago.
Yeah, we
and
went to we saw them live for the
we saw
first
them
time
in
together.
Providence,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had to go to Providence because I missed the Boston show.
And we ended up in their music video for like a split second.
For Dip, yeah. Shout out Term. He
funny,
gave
like-
me the link to his French press that he uses.
Oh,
I hit him up on
nice.
Those
Instagram.
motherfuckers, like down in Atlanta, we're standing outside of like a venue, and we're just shooting the shit with this group of kids, and I seen it in some kid's face. He was like, "You guys are the Palmer Squares." And they're like, yeah,
They have that
He's like,
following,
"Bro,
yeah.
that's
They
great."
do.
Yeah.
It was funny. Like even like just like in Atlanta, kids like drove like hours to like come smoke weed with them and shit.
Yeah, they have like one of those just it's almost like Grateful Dead, like people know who they are, and like
Yeah.
not that they're Grateful Dead vibes, but like
No, but
people
they
are
have they do have like that strong cult following kind of.
Yeah,
There were
it's
people
powerful.
at the show we went to, like there were
They're not
people
half-ass
there were people
fans, you know
lining
what I
up to
mean?
give them yeah. There were people lining up to give them free weed after the show. Like
Absolutely, yes.
just because they're just like, here, have a joint. And they're like, oh, thank you.
Well, that's I mean, I feel like that just happens with musicians in general too.
I know.
But
It's crazy.
it's just good like to be. I mean, this isn't like exclusive to them. Like when musicians are down to earth people, like that's where you grow an organic fan base when they feel that they can come up to you and not like, oh, this dude might punch me in the face. And I think we've mentioned this on old podcasts, like just being approachable and like that is a huge thing. And like in making yourself marketable and people want to come up to your merch table and like, oh, hey.
Oh yeah.
how's it
Sticking
going,
around
man?
after the show to talk to people is like that's a big thing.
And like so when you you've done a couple shows with them, like are you in contact like when it comes to their touring schedule or just like in any other acts, like do you guys work together when it comes to booking each other?
Not so much. Like all the shows I did like here, like the ones I headlined, like I just hit up Leeds and like bought the place out for the night with
Right.
them. The first time they had told me like in Atlanta when we come to Boston, because it was like at the beginning of a tour, so they had like a set Boston date, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to do that show? Like, we'll bring you out." Like I was waiting on the word and like never got it, and like I hit them up. They're like, "Oh, we'll hit leads, yada yada." So like I didn't find out I was performing until that day.
Oh wow.
I got the word and like made it happen. But then like the second time, I just like same shit, just hit them up. And they
Dude,
just,
so you just like show up with a USB day of ready to go? That's nuts. Hey,
like,
testament
I
to your preparedness.
I was anticipating it, you know what I mean? And like I hadn't like lost hope that like it wasn't gonna happen yet.
Yeah.
Like they hit me and they were like, "Yo, like we'll see you tonight." And I was like, "Yeah," like just like said some shit, and they were like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I'll see y'all tonight." Like, you know what I mean? Like me and the homies are pulling up. They're like, "You know, you're a performer, right?" I was like, "No clue." They're like, "Bro, we locked that in days ago. Like nobody hit you up."
Hey, little communication, guys.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
But that was like my first show ever. Like my second show. And we're at Club 58 in Quincy.
Yep.
So it was Maroney, Hush, and Protege was like
Oh, wow.
lineup. And I wanted on the show like really fucking bad, but like nobody was like showing me no love. I was like shit faced drunk. I was 16 years old, like blackout drunk. Maroney calls me like the night before, like, "Yo, you want to perform?" Like, hell yeah. But that was when like Club 58 was like huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all my friends were like going there every weekend. So for like me to be pulling up and performing there, it was like a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you got to take like those steps in like the local scene. There's always that one spot that you're like, I got to get that next one. Like next step's House of Blues. Like next step is the Garden. You always got to keep looking to whatever venue is the goal. And it always seems intimidating at first. Sometimes Hajar's is intimidating. R.I.P.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen you at Maggie's Lounge when you were Knockout. That's when I first heard about you.
Lit Maggie's ever been. It was like those first few knockout shows.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I'll put money on that.
Yeah.
Maggie's is such an incubator. That's where everyone comes out of. Everyone starts at Maggie's. It's awesome.
And some people never leave. But I've also seen you at the Middle East. You sold out the Middle East, right?
Yes, sir.
For your album release show for Amateur Rockstar.
Yeah.
That's fire. What was that like?
Fire. That shit was amazing.
That must have been a good feeling.
Sold hella t-shirts. It was just like, it was just cool because it was all the people that like, normally you do a show, like a big show like that, and it's like hella randoms because like they're there to see somebody else, but it was like a whole room like of just Quincy cats, like
Yeah,
just like been going to school with forever, like family type shit. You know what I mean? So it's like the vibe was cool. It was kind of like we couldn't keep motherfuckers off the stage because everybody just felt like we
some
were all so
Wu-Tang
tight.
stuff.
So I was
Yeah.
like,
right.
Motherfuckers all night. Like
That was like the Casso show a few months ago.
Oh man, yeah.
but
There
we
were a
brought
lot of people
moms
on
up.
stage.
That was cool
Yeah.
because like my mom was able to come and like she like wasn't even like getting out the house like a couple months before that. So the fact that she was able to, like stand up on stage was fucking fire. Because that's like the whole reason I came home from LA is because my mom had a stroke. So,
Okay.
like, the fact that she was just like able to be there and shit.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Like
Good to hear.
Yeah, that's something you'll remember forever.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, so you had the show with Casso that was supposed to be tonight that got canceled.
Yeah.
What do you obviously we don't really know when this thing's gonna end, but like what are your hopes for the future in terms of shows? Where are you hoping to perform?
Motherfuckers ain't afraid to like get like dirty, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even like going to shows, I like being like in the pit and like rubbing elbows like with fucking strangers and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Pits, like,
especially if you love the act, it's kind of everyone kind of bounces together, anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
It's down. Like it's gonna be a long time before I get to do some shit like that. Especially
Absolutely.
like in my own shit. Like ain't nobody gonna want to come out to a show. You know what I mean? But it's on the artist now to like get creative. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of off. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of do whatever you want.
That's the thing. There's no guidelines to this. Like we've never dealt with anything like this before.
People are on their phones. People need some shit.
Exactly.
Like you gotta feed them.
I always wonder if we could do like drive-in concerts. Could we do like virtual concerts? There's options.
People have been talking about drive-in concerts. I heard someone talking about that recently.
It's time to leave.
Yeah, that's true. Or what if you got to take a piss?
Yeah, but time to leave and like you sit in
True.
4 hours of traffic.
Yeah, it happens anyways if you go to like the Xfinity Center. But
motherfuckers getting drunk and shit.
Yeah. The artists like jumping on the hoods of cars, like,
Yeah, like,
Which
it's
is gonna
like,
happen.
yo,
which is definitely gonna
you don't
happen.
wear nice shoes to a concert.
Right.
You don't fucking drive your car there.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck that. You don't even drive to a concert like when you going. You know what I mean? You get on a fucking party bus or some shit.
Right.
Of course, as is customary.
It's just like we ain't never had nothing to be afraid of before. So like when this shit phases out, what's gonna be left to be afraid of? Like
That's true.
talk
Yeah, I
all
mean,
day about that shit.
Right.
yeah. So I actually wanted to ask you for like future works. Are you gonna stick with the Amateur Rockstar series, or are you working on something different now?
I'll fucking give y'all like the first little fucking piece of like the new theme.
Okay.
The project I'm putting together right now, it's called Freak Show, and like that's like a precursor to like a follow up. That like I'm not gonna give it away yet. But
Okay.
it's like keeping up the whole idea, just like an ill show, like a big bright fucking experience. You know what I mean? It's like the rock star shit. It's like not a gimmick, but it's like it's a pocket that like I only want to run with for so long. Eventually, that's
Right.
just got to be me. That's just got
Right.
to be what you see when you look at Knasty. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's that whole vibe, and I don't got to put a label on it. It's just me.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the next piece is just I'm gonna be like the ringleader of Son of Fire. It's a freak show.
Okay. Yeah. No,
So-
that's always fun.
Like
Yeah.
the shits I was playing you like before, it's kind of got like a dark, like creepy vibe to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, definitely. And that stuff's always fun. I love music like that. That's kind of I'm drawn to things that are a little more like grungy and grimy, and like when it hits that right tempo too, because sometimes it's slow and sometimes it's like, but sometimes it hits, and you're just like I guess an example, like a mainstream example. I guess they're not so mainstream. Would be like Suicide Boys, kind of like they have that like grimy kind of like
Mhm.
vibe, but it's. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly what you're going at, but like they kind of
That
when I
feel,
hear
but
Freak
just,
Show.
like, shit to make you feel good. Their music, like you know what I mean. It's like yeah.
A little dark, yeah, I feel you.
I mean,
Shit to
their
make you
suicide is in their name, so it's,
Produced by Travis Barker, though, he's
trying
fun.
to make, like party music. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
But like at the same time, tell a story. I got a lot of shit to say.
So
Yeah.
who are
It's
who are
it's
some of
for me to
your
find a balance, to be honest, because like
yeah,
it's a conversation I have with like my peoples every day, like the sound I want to chase and like what I want to put out and put together with what, because like the elevator shit, it's like a whole different sound. It's like lo-fi boom bap type shit, and like I really enjoy rapping on beats like that. Like the video I did, spooky shit, like when I was on the parking garage by the Middle East, like
yeah,
the boom bap shit is like fun and I can flex, but like at the end of the day, it's boring. That shit, you know what I mean? So it's like
yeah.
when I make like a fun record, like fucking like 2 times or like anything off of the fucking Amateur Rockstar shit's just like fun to perform, like fuck up the pack, like
Yeah.
that's just like
That live, I've seen that a couple
that's what I
times live.
feel.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Like,
That
I do
song
the
that
other
song's
shit,
crazy.
don't make me feel nothing. Don't make me want to do nothing. You know what I mean? When I make those fun shits and like makes me want to party and like girls love it and shit. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
important.
That's the way.
Yeah, you got to rock with the vibe, and I appreciate like the turn up stuff. Definitely, it's
Oh, yeah.
gets your
I
heart going.
bumped 2 times in the car a lot. That's
Right,
definitely
right.
that's definitely a good one to bump in the whip.
I appreciate
One of
it.
my personal favorites is
It's
the
about-
keys.
It's about tripping.
Oh,
Says,
okay.
I'm shroomed up and going to sleep tonight. And
Oh, yeah, yeah.
My whole verse is about like tripping. So,
Mm.
Yeah, I love the whole vibe of that song.
oh yeah. I wish we could have done a video for that, but Flux fucking the homie lives out in San Diego. So
Yeah.
I don't see
Yeah,
him.
you still could at some point, you know.
Yeah.
People release
Masked
videos
Up.
like years later now. 50
It's
Cent
allowed.
released a video, that song with Post Malone from like 5 years ago.
Oh yeah. Fucking and sober. And
Yeah.
Keep didn't show up.
Oh, that one. Yeah, no, that's hilarious. I saw that. Yeah.
Really? Oh
It's
my god.
it's 50 Cent, Wiz Khalifa. It's Chief Keef's song,
Yeah.
"Keep Being Sober," featuring
video
50 Cent and
for
Wiz
it.
Khalifa,
he's
but he
just
didn't
not
show
in
up. He's not in the video. He didn't show up. So great.
And they still put it out. That is hysterical.
Did you ever see what was the Young Thug video where he didn't show up? And I forget what song it is, but he doesn't show up to the video, but the guy who was directing it made the video anyways.
What?
Really.
And he was like, "This is what we would have done if he showed up." And it's
Oh,
like,
I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
it's awesome. Got to make the most of whatever situation.
Hell yeah.
So do you like do you produce on your own, like as far as like your in-home studio goes, or do you usually do you outsource that work?
Production's usually always outsourced.
Okay.
Just like producing's a very new thing for me, but like the past like 6 projects I put out has all been like recorded here, like on my own shit. A lot of
Okay.
shit like I wrote "Fuck Up a Pack" in this room, but this desk was facing this way, and I wasn't even supposed to be in this room because when I first moved into this house, I like had the downstairs renovated to like be my studio, but it wasn't ready yet, so I was sleeping in this room, and I wrote "Fuck Up a Pack" in here and recorded it in LA, and then like when I moved downstairs and like I got my studio finished, that's where like all the amateur rock star shit was done downstairs in this house.
Okay.
And then now I got the fucking studio in Quincy, so that's like where I do most of my work at, because I like to keep fucking like work and home separate. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That makes
If I
sense.
just try to do everything here, I get too distracted. Like my PlayStation's here and shit. Like
Oh, for
Right.
sure.
always on some dumb shit.
But
Exactly.
it's good to have that self-awareness, though, like to know that you don't work well in that environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you more
Like, that's where I'm
productive.
at now.
Yeah.
And I've like switched the mindset. You know what I mean? I try to like see this more of an office because like behind me I got like my couch and like my TV's right there. So like
Yeah.
So it's just like it's very easy to just catch a vibe and lay back in here. So
Yeah.
try to keep my shit up.
And how much time will you typically spend on a verse or like on a song? Will you throw like 8 verses, 8 like takes out, or are you like a one take guy? How does it
motherfuckers
work?
that know me know like I work slow.
Okay.
Slow.
That's better, I
I'll
think.
sit with a beat. Well, it's like it all depends. Certain songs like come differently. You know what I mean? Like you ever hear someone like on a song with me, like we probably made it like right there, and I probably wrote my verse in like 30 seconds, but like the song with like 2 verses from me, and like it probably takes me a few days to write that shit, and then like I record like verse after verse after verse after verse after verse till I get that shit right. But I've been trying to like just channel myself to like get that fucking first take, you know what I mean, and just like keep it even if it's not perfect. Like it's always just gonna be like that vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like yeah, it takes me a minute. I'm not the type to like go into a studio session and come out with like 4 or 5 songs. Like it's like 4 or 5 studio sessions.
I don't get how people do that.
Yeah, that's just the Migos vibe. They went
I be
volume.
around some motherfuckers that do it and like do it well. But
Yeah. Some people do it well.
Yeah, once you catch a good formula, I think like you can. I think we were actually talking about this off mic before the podcast. Like, if you have a good session musician who understands the structure of music, they can pop out like 4 legitimate songs in an afternoon, and it won't be like a joke necessarily. Like, and I mean, even if the lyrics might sound hollow, the structure of the music is there. Like, it's sonically pleasing. So
Right.
that's like a huge part of it too. And I think, like I just was talking about Migos, like they'll put out a bunch of songs like Hannah Montana or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. But it's like sounds fun and like you're bouncing to it and stuff. So, I mean, volume versus quality is, I mean, that's something that like will always be in music, I think. But it has a lot to do with like your creative process, taking that time to get the lyrics right and also have your music like balance out that like the vibe. So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of rambling at this point, but it goes deep into like that music theory, you know?
Hell yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if you have someone that you might reference on that. Like, do you typically run tracks by like a musically inclined friend, or do you just usually have the ear for it?
Glasshouse.
A Glasshouse?
Glasshouse.
Okay. Shout out Glasshouse. He's out here. Formerly, yeah, we talked about him already.
Formerly Kincaid.
Yeah.
Also from Quincy, right?
Great voice, I have to say. I just want to
Yeah.
particularly shout out his voice. Seen him live when you were with the Palmer Squares that time. Great show. You guys have a couple songs together, right?
Wow.
You got a lot of songs together.
Yeah.
Goes back. Like me and him, like we've been vibing since we was like 13, 14 years old.
Okay. The real homie.
Like we share our studio in Quincy. Like I be with him every day.
So the chemistry when it comes to making music is like off the charts at this point.
It's rare like either of us work on a song without like a little bit of input from each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like we just feed off each other real well. We like kind of draw on each other's strengths and shit.
Yeah.
And do you guys just, I mean, obviously you are your own entities musically, but like, do you guys work under like a single name? Like, would you guys work together, or do you call yourselves like a production company or something like that?
We had some shit for a little bit, but it was just kind of like a joke, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
We're both just like so like heavy into our shit, like it's hard to like divert from that and like
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like very, very strong like independent brands, you know what I mean? It's like
yeah, heavily influenced by each other.
Different alley, like it almost wouldn't make sense for me and him to be like a product together.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the songs hit, you know what I mean? So like
that's smart to know that though, and not like tie yourselves too closely. But obviously, you're still like
that's like my brother in real life, you know what I mean? So like music, it's just like something we both happen to fucking do,
right?
You know, like do it well. So like when we come together, that's just heat. But like the song wise, like we're both like heavy, like you know, like to each other on that shit. But like we both like make our own moves, you know what I mean? Kind of have our own way of like handling shit.
Like You is another track that you both have done that I like. Off the first Amateur Rockstar.
Anytime we can get together, it's like y'all should hear the 10 songs we made last summer that never came out.
Yeah.
Ooh, Skrelly bucks, $1,000 a track.
We made a whole project before the name change.
Yeah.
So like we just didn't do nothing with the music, but some heat.
All right, yeah, dude, that's something.
So is that just staying in the vault?
Probably.
Okay.
Like I might pull like one or two out.
Yeah.
Like projects and shit, but probably let them simmer. But y'all might hear them down the line. You know what I mean?
All right.
Drops.
Word.
Yo, one of y'all got an iPhone or a phone right now?
Yes.
Stopwatch. Time me. I'm gonna go grab a beer. Ready?
All right.
Go for it. Boom.
Actually, I'm gonna grab a beverage as well.
We're running.
All right.
All right, folks. We're seeing how long they take. How long will it be for these two to get drinks? Right now, we're at 14 seconds. 14 seconds.
14? Yeah, that's
not bad. Jack's still going, though. Jack's at 20. He's a second behind this, so we'll call him 24. Oh, man, he's slow, though.
I was hoping I'd at least keep it under 10.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is an accurate stopwatch, so Jack's just so slow, though. But I wonder how
this one, and we'll do it again.
Yeah. Maybe next time I'll do some ASMR. You know what? I'm just straight turning off the timer. You're the only one who asked to be timed because he's just hanging.
He's making a sandwich.
Doing some paperwork. It happens. Austin's Big Four. This is the podcast. We're doing it.
So what's up with y'all? What's on the horizons for y'all?
So it's funny actually. So your show was affected. We've mentioned this on past episodes, and we had leads on too. We were trying to put on a Boston's Big Four Presents show. We had started cooking it a little bit, and it got pushed by the whole thing. So as far as like official plans go, we definitely got pushed back. But I mean, things have been good right now. We got the Zoom going. Things have been fun.
It would have been real dope to have a full fucking summer of shows.
Yeah, I was ready to do it. I was looking forward.
Channel in and like strengthen themselves a little bit. So like when those shits do happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like when everything gets back to normal, I feel like everybody's gonna be so ready to just like go crazy in a good way.
Oh yeah, once it's like, oh yeah, you can be in public again. And I know people are so skeptical to do it, but it's gonna people already want to do it. So
it's already easing up a little bit. Like so
it's gonna be fun. I think like once we finally get these shows cooking, and it'll probably be the fall, I imagine. Realistically. But I think but like, so I guess we'd said this also on past episodes that I think it's they'll probably honor the shows. Like I bet you guys will get a rescheduled date like prior to anyone who was only in discussions of shows. So and there's like so many, I'm sure lots of people are going to get bumped, and there's only so much venue space and many shows made.
Like Middle East only got so much time left. The clock's ticking on that place too.
Right. Yeah. What's next, guys? Sound off in the comments. What do we have after the Middle East? Oh God.
Yo, that's
the
gonna
all
change.
Asia?
That's gonna change a lot of things. Like when the Middle East is gone.
Hopefully some dope motherfuckers will buy it.
Hopefully.
Cool.
They put on the best hip hop shows in Boston, hands down, or in the area. So
yeah, I'm hoping that I don't know what the venue's gonna look like. That's on the corner of Fenway, right across from. It's like
that's gonna be like a big venue, like bigger than House of Blues, right?
It's supposed to be, not bigger than House of Blues, smaller than the Garden, but I think I have a feeling local acts will probably get a shot there more often. I don't know. I just don't like the way the House of Blues is laid out, so it just seems like it's kind of hard.
Why not?
I just don't love it. Especially if you get balcony.
I've gotten balcony before. Like there's some spots in the House of Blues where like you can't see anything.
Yeah, and I mean it depends on the show. Like sometimes it's just it's just crowded.
House of Rules.
Yes,
House of Rules.
That's
no
also
stage
true.
diving.
No fucking nothing.
I've heard of many people just like not being let in for like allegedly being like too intoxicated, but they're like, why am I being kicked out?
I've had so many fucking shit shows there. One funny story though is like just started dating this girl, and she had tickets to this show. I wasn't even supposed to go, but her friend fucking backed out on her, so she took me, and we got there and we had like a bunch of weed like that we snuck in, and I've dealt with these pricks before, so I know how you got to do it. So like I got the blunts in and shit, and I'm just seeing everybody light up and just get pulled. I'm like, yo, how do they even like know who's smoking? So it was walking right up on motherfuckers.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, literally right next to me on a speaker was this kid, Evan. Shout out Evan. We had like 3 years of like every class together in college. So I look at him and I was like, bro, if I fire up, like you're gonna get me thrown out of here. And he's like, no, bro, just stand right here. So we were smoking all night.
No,
nice. There you go.
One time I ever smoked in the House of Blues, because now I don't even chance it because nobody wants to get fucking thrown out of a show.
Oh yeah, they're very strict. Actually, one of my buddies is a security guy there, and I've seen him. Well, I've been at a show and like seen him carrying somebody out, like being like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" I'm like, and but I actually, so funny story. One time at the Middle East, and the Middle East is pretty similar. Like that's not a venue anyone can really smoke at unless it's like a special show. But
it depends.
It depends on the person. Like if you're like Snoop Dogg, I'm sure people will be getting away with it. But like just a typical act, it's pretty obvious if you're doing it, and like they get you pretty quick. So I was up on like, you know, they have the 2 levels. So like I'm up like to the left that's like raised up, and I see this dude. It was so funny because it was like a relatively packed show, and he just goes like, and he ducks down in the crowd and like hits something and then comes back up. I saw like a little cloud, and he like comes back up out of the crowd. I was like, that is hysterical. He just was like a little smoking gopher.
Right.
It works, so I guess he didn't get pulled.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you got to do.
Yeah. Just let people smoke inside again, like the 50s. Why not? What's the issue?
Well, the Middle East is dangerous because like if there was ever a fire in that place.
Well, yeah, you would.
Yeah, true.
Half of those people are gonna die.
Yeah, there's only one way out of there. Like it's
the stairs.
Yeah. Oh no.
Isn't there? There's no.
If you know, you can like bust out the fucking back, you know what I mean, up the ramp. But like, most people don't know about that.
Yeah, I feel though that people would probably do it in a huff if they were freaking out, like depending on where the fire was.
Like, motherfuckers would see the door open, but then it's like that ramp's just gonna be the same shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, yeah, fingers crossed, no fires. We're in the middle of a pandemic right now. One thing at a time.
Right.
Yeah, no, but I mean, honestly, I'm even thinking about it. There might be a shortage of venues. Top secret, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anybody that I'm doing this. I'm going to open my own venue. And
where?
Don't tell anybody, dude.
We're not live, but we're recording. Where are you opening this venue?
Somewhere in the greater Boston area /
right
in the heart of Boston, right in front of City Hall. I'm just gonna get a permit to do some street performance, and we'll do a whole thing.
There you go.
Outside of Governor Baker's house.
Actually, could we do a socially distanced concert like that, where it's like we could just have it be really wide,
Everyone stands 6 feet apart.
really wide, and everyone wears masks? You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know. You know what? That's a secret. I'm gonna cut that part out.
All right,
We'll see. We'll
That
see if
could
we
work.
can do that.
That could.
Y'all should throw like a fucking IG live concert or some shit where y'all just like host a long ass live and just like have people come in. Just like
That would be
That would
pretty
be-
fun.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know
that's
what?
something to think about.
Yeah, keep it in. It's all hot. We're doing it.
It's-
We're doing
enough
it.
people to fill that shit out.
Dude, I'm
Like,
not.
yeah,
I'm
beat
like,
makers like motherfuckers like Lightfoot and shit who go crazy like on the pads.
Right. Yeah, we get like a variety of different talents.
All
Well,
right.
we got to talk about this.
New ideas. Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
got a headline though.
Oh, all right.
need
I mean,
to-
it's your
course.
idea, so
Yeah, this is exciting. Sound off in the comments if you want that. It doesn't. It's too late. We're doing it. But so like, I guess you have like a couple projects mapped out. It sounds like for the future.
Yeah.
And if you had like, and I'm sure you have maybe a few features. I know you worked with Glass House and everything. But like, if you had like ideal features or someone like you'd want to work with, who are a few people like in the star range and just like locally, who would you like to work with?
Motherfucking Casso got a
Casso.
song in his email that he's been sitting on that I need my verse about 3 months now.
Oh, Casso,
Y'all see
dude.
that-
Casso.
y'all
Hot
see
seat.
that motherfucker, if
Dude.
y'all see him.
Dude, we're clipping this one out for you, Casso.
Yeah.
Y'all
You're
see
doing
him, let him know.
he posted something the other day where he's like, "Oh, my phone's been on Do Not Disturb. I'm sorry if I haven't been answering people." It's like, poor
He got-
excuse,
he
dude.
got
Come on.
that- He got this joint pre-pandemic. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, no excuse. No excuse.
locally, like, it's like I ain't really impressed by like too many like local cats. I feel like I gave Quincy like the whole fucking year. to,
Yeah.
like drop some fire and like I didn't see like nobody drop shit. Except
Not
for,
much going on in Quincy,
except for Glass. Glass just dropped. his
except for
fucking
you and Glass House and a couple other people, but it's like
we don't gotta get
for
into that,
like a
I
decent
just, like-
sized city, I feel like there should be like a little more of a scene.
it was like I just didn't see no fire projects drop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's what I want to see.
You
Yeah.
think some of that has to do with Quincy itself not having really many hip hop venues other than Maggie's? Like, is there anywhere to perform in
excuse.
Quincy? You know, no excuse. Yeah, it's true. People make music everywhere.
What about like as far as Boston artists? You like Millie's?
I got a song with Billy's.
You have a song with Millie's?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm out of the
Can we
loop.
find it? Yeah, I'm out of the
It's,
loop.
it's a knockout song. It's like 4 years old though.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay.
He came at a studio session at the Bridge, and like
Yeah.
you know, he came and fucking laid the verse down, chopped it up with me and shit, and then there was like a couple other occasions where like I like was at shows with him. Like soon after we did our song, he had a show in DC, and I just happened to be like on a vacation with my girl at the time in DC. So
Wow.
like I went to the show and like chopped it up with him and his homies and shit. He's good people.
Word. Yeah, he's doing big things, obviously.
I'll link y'all that. I will link y'all to that. I think it's on SoundCloud.
Word. Yeah, I definitely want to hear that.
So you've pretty much been, it sounds like, all over the country. I mean, I think you've, it sounds just from
Yeah.
this conversation, you've been East
I've been
Coast,
to a
West
lot of
Coast.
the same place like multiple times, and I'm trying to start going to like new places. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
I've been at Atlanta 3 times, LA 4 times, like DC fucking 3 times. Like everywhere I go, I feel like I've been twice. I was supposed to go to New Orleans like last month.
That would be dope.
That shit got fried. I had like a fire ass New Orleans trip planned. That shit got fucking super.
Damn.
But yeah, it is what it is. I got like $700 in travel credit now, so like
Oh,
hopefully
yeah, get
sometime
ready.
in the next year I can fucking use that. Because if not, it expires.
Yeah,
Right.
right now that's worth about 100 flights.
That's what I'm
That-
saying.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
I go back and forth to Florida.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, you probably have a private plane
Go to
right now.
Florida, hit the beach because they're all open. Get Corona, come back,
Right.
give it to all my friends. Slit.
Yeah, I think Florida is just causing all the issues right now.
What else is new?
Reverse shout out Florida.
Yeah, seriously. God's waiting room.
Oh man, that's rude. I've heard this before, I think.
It's true though.
Probably.
I saw something that was like, of course Tom Brady went to Florida. That's what old people from New England do.
Deadass.
I didn't even think about that. That's a very good joke. Kudos. Dude, is that a painting of Pablo behind you?
Yeah.
Dude, oh my God. I've been watching Narcos. I love
Like
that ish.
a pencil sketch.
Did you draw that?
No, this dude from Florida.
Oh, man.
But
Tell him we're
course.
sorry about what we
just
said about
talked
his
to that
state.
dude recently, actually. So like, y'all familiar with Art Plug? The
No.
fucking show in Roxbury.
Nah.
Art Plug is dope. It's like they have like vendors, like edible vendors, art vendors, and then like a rap show and shit. You know what I mean? Like they used to do them like periodically, when the world was open. But
Yeah.
obviously that's slow. But I went once and like I just met this dude and like he had all these fucking like super. I'm gonna grab it. All these like super like abstract fucking paintings of people and shit, just like pencil sketches like this one.
Damn.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I mean,
Getting some art into the podcast.
yeah, and it's pretty. I mean, that's pretty detailed from that far away. I was like, "Está Pablo Escobar."
Yeah, the fact that you were able to like notice who that was. Wow.
Pablo Escobar right before he got caught. That's a
So-
thick Escobar.
I just talked to the dude recently because he liked one of my pictures and like I ended up on his page just like scrolling, and he's not at his crib right now, so I gotta wait for him to like get back to his spot. But he's got this ODB that's like drawn just like that.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
I want
nasty.
that. And I want to frame them, like put them next to each other.
Oh,
That's
for
awesome.
sure.
I think he's gonna like commission like a portrait like in that style for like some cover art or some shit. Yeah,
Damn.
So it's funny you like notice that. It's like that dude's about to like.
Yeah,
start
you
getting
sniped that
involved.
out.
Yeah, well, I've been watching Narcos, so I was just like,
Oh,
"Que
yeah.
chingado es
Alright.
eso?" I'm just like, I'm in on this right now.
Y'all know Self-Made Designs.
I think,
I don't.
yeah.
The studio in Quincy.
Yeah.
Like
I've heard of it.
like,
Yeah.
one of like the graffiti artists there is like this big like series of like paintings where he made like 100 or some shit, but like that's number like 2 and 3 from like before he even like made the whole fucking series.
Wow.
Oh, so that the one you have is like there's only one?
He made 3 of them.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
bought 2 of the first 3, and then he liked that idea so much that he went on to paint like 100 of them and like did a
Ooh.
big art show and like sold them all. But like I got the originals.
That's sick. So he's probably
Fire.
I imagine he has them like splashed with different colors and stuff or
You know what's crazy is our mutual friend that we had talked about. I
yeah.
went over his crib. He got mad at the same dude's paintings up on the.
Oh,
fucking
really?
wall.
I think I've
Yeah.
seen them actually. Yeah,
Fuck.
because I think he uses like a lot of pop culture stuff, right? Like he
Yeah.
includes different. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh man,
It's awesome though when you can like know. I mean, it's kind of funny that art world is so like subjective, but when it comes to it, like, and you can see common, you're like, oh, I know who that artist is, like because of the style, and then you know, like, oh, you have that piece and I have this piece. There's only 10 of those. Like that is, it does. It's like it almost sounds snobby, but it's just kind of cool when there's rarity to that art.
Oh,
cool to have
absolutely.
cool shit. You know what I mean, like buying like nice stuff, nice clothes.
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm noticing right now you got the Supreme tee.
Yeah.
I'm jelly. I was about to put a Supreme patch on a backpack that I have that's not Supreme, but
That's cheating. That's
Oh, I
cheating.
see.
yeah, but nobody
Um,
cares.
The homie upstairs just got a puppy, and like just
Supreme
because
puppy.
like just because he knew like I would fuck with it, he ordered a little Supreme hoodie for his dog.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
What kind of pup?
It's a mini golden. It's a mini labradoodle.
Oh, those are the best. No allergies. Gotta get it.
Really?
Yeah, I think they grow it like the hair and not fur or something, so it's less whatever dander.
So that dog is
Yeah.
fluffy as hell.
Yeah, I got it.
Cool little thing.
Yeah, gotta love a dog. Shout out dogs. I want a
Shout out
dog.
dogs. I need a dog.
There's 2 dogs here. There's Mila, who's like a straight like dingo, like
Oh, really? Do they get along?
around. Yeah, they're chilling. The
that's
puppies
good.
are like brand new. Puppy just came like last week.
Oh. Maybe the dingo ate your
It's
baby.
exciting times over here at the crib.
Yeah, that's fun. This is the time, dude. I
mean,
think
that's-
everyone's getting puppies right now.
Yeah, seriously. Like
Because,
this is a good time to have a dog.
like my
'Cause-
roommates like both work like restaurant jobs, so like both aren't like ever really home during the day and shit. You know what I mean? So like usually the crib's just empty, but like
Shout out them putting in work, dude.
time.
Really?
for the first time, like the house is just like full, and we're all just here like kicking it every day, and we cook.
Yeah, yeah.
Hang out. It's just like it's a
Mm.
vibe. You know what I mean? Like, how could you be mad at this? Like, how could you want this to like even end? Like, I could ride
Yeah.
this shit out all summer.
Oh, totally. Yeah. If you have everything you need and you're just
You
doing
know what I mean? It's
doing
like-
work.
It's the motherfuckers who like got nothing going on that are pissed. Like, when you guys
Right.
like we can sit and create content. Like, we never got this kind of free time. You know what I mean? Might never.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's,
that's true. Yeah, you can't complain about it. I
and
mean,
there ain't nothing wrong with just kicking back and like fucking off and like taking drugs and watching TV all day. You know what I mean? Like, cause like if there's ever been a time to fucking pile that shit on, like it's now. Like, can't be judged like almost like anything you're fucking doing right now.
absolutely. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say like, I mean, just like that reinforcement, like just of an affirmation, because I'm like a nonstop kind of person. So when it comes to my schedule ending up with me just in the house all the time, I'm kind of like, you almost build up an anxiety of like, oh, I have to do something, but there's so much to do here. Like I got everything like
man,
set
that's
up
what I'm
now.
saying.
Like,
It's like I'm the type of motherfucker. I do not like going out. I will be in on a Friday night.
I'm the same way, honestly.
Right, or whatever. But I always have that thought, like, damn, I should be out. These motherfuckers is at the bar.
Yeah.
having fun, like whatever. Now
you don't have to. Yeah.
Now there's no
Nobody-
guilt. There's no
you know what I
guilt with
mean?
staying
It's
home.
like, that's what everybody's on. So it's like, what?
Right. Right. You're like, oh, this is okay now. It's like socially
I'd be
acceptable for me to just hide out. Like, this is cool.
My COD is crazy right now. You know what I mean? I got gold guns out the fucking ying.
Oh, dude, add me on COD. You're playing Modern Warfare right now?
Flip Skylark.
Oh, okay.
I do not fuck with Warzone.
That's fine. I was plundering last night, but otherwise I'm a hardcore shipment guy.
Really.
That's my thing.
That was fire. My torch is empty, so I can't dab and roll another blunt. Yeah.
So
Balls like fucking 6 times in the past like, fucking 5-6 weeks. I don't even know.
that's got to be
What
exciting.
else do you fucking do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
get some inspiration going. Have you been doing like remote work with other people too? Like, have you been able to collab like that? Okay, so
I'm such a fucking like weirdo. I don't even like talking to people. So like making music with a motherfucker who like I don't
Yeah.
do it all the time. It's just like it's almost weird to me. Like if we're in the stew, it's one thing, but like a lot of people like this is some dickhead shit to say. A lot of people try to work with me. And I can never understand why. You know what I mean?
Right. So do you look at it like you don't
Because it'd
really
be
want to
like-
work with someone unless you have like a relationship with them, like a friendship with them?
Not even that. It be motherfuckers that want to work and send me shit, and it's like, bro, have you ever heard me rap before?
Mm.
You know
Like
what
it's
I
not your style at all.
mean? Yeah, or like you agree to do a song with someone, you end up doing 90% of the work. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
if I respond to like it'd be homies, and I like feeling bad, but like I take my shit seriously, and if I don't see that you don't take your shit like past how I fucking take it, I
Right.
don't want to work with you because like I'm gonna end up doing all the work. I'm gonna end up, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you definitely, and I think I think this came up on the Protege episode that like you sort of have to build your community in a way that you know it's going to be productive. Like, you know that
Yeah.
these people are going to want to also work as hard as you, And sometimes like there's people you care about that kind of fall out because those values don't line up. And it's like, not that you don't care about them, but like as far as like your career and path goes, you have to keep your eyes on the
Like
prize.
with me, like I always got something going on. I always got people around me like immediately that are down at work. So
Right.
like unless you're pulling up, like your DM, like it don't really do nothing. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
but also at the same time, I'm not the type to be reaching out and shit to like new people and shit. I just kind of try to hone in on what I got. And
Yeah.
when I cross paths with like, I meet a motherfucker like Casa, someone that I'm like inclined to like make some music with, cause like they got like some shit going on, like that's different.
Right.
But like with the homie like Glass, we share the studio, so it's like I pull up, he's there, he's working on some shit, whether it's like a verse or a mix. I'm sitting right there at the computer, and I'm like, yo, like do something to the beat right there. It's a fucking co-op effort, like
Right.
whether it's a solo track or a collab track or like we're mixing or like writing lyrics together, like whatever. So like that's good enough for me. You know what I mean?
So you'd rather have that experience working together in the studio rather than just emailing shit back and forth.
Yeah. But like I'm not opposed to that neither, but it's just gotta
Right.
make sense. Like I'm not just gonna do any fucking song, like even like for like a fucking payment or like whatever. Like that shit's stupid. I'm not like the type to be like, oh, you're not getting a free verse out of me, because like you very well can, but it's just gotta make sense.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and I always say it's short-sighted to be hard on that, like you got to pay me to work with me kind of thing,
Yeah.
because if
At
you
the end
see
of the day,
someone,
you gotta get your bag. Like
yeah, that's
there's
true.
motherfuckers that
But if you believe in the person and the song and you think it's gonna benefit both of you, like there's really no need for that
it's like when
sometimes.
you hear someone and they're so dope, and it's like, why wouldn't I want them on my shit?
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's like a mutual respect. Like this is just going to be beneficial for both of us.
Right.
So,
And it's
and
like,
there's lots of
unless
that.
you popping, like that money ain't gonna fucking get no return.
Right. So you don't want to work with anyone who can't match your hustle, basically, because the song is because the collaboration is gonna benefit them more than it is you.
Honestly, I don't want to work with anybody who's not like innovating.
Yeah.
If like your music could be fire, but if it's like an emulation of some shit,
Right. Right. Right.
or like, you know what I mean? I gotta.
We were talking about this with John Glass on a recent episode. How he was saying like he just loves working with people who have their own thing going on.
And he understands that. That's a motherfucker who like
Yeah.
can get that.
Yeah. You got to have your own thing.
Yeah, and sometimes it even like seems like the wrong thing at first, but when you stick to it, eventually it just kind of sticks in people's minds.
It might
and
feel
then
wrong because it's different.
Right. Yeah, and that it totally happens. And I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes even like missing opportunities when it comes to collabing with certain people. It's something that you might have thought like, nah, that person's trash, and then later they.
Not every opportunity like might look right. Like I've always wanted to play the House of Blues, always. I had the chance.
Yeah.
At a weird ass time, I could have paid $1,000 to open up for Chief Keef at the House of Blues.
Wow.
Would he have shown up?
No, the show happened, and I got friends that did it, and it went off, and the packed big show. At the time, I would not have done it. It was stupid. Didn't have no music out. I was brand new to Knasty. The music I had was the lo-fi shit that I was just like a couple months ago or like last summer. Amateur Rockstar 2. I would have put that 1,000 up in a second.
Right.
A fucking second.
Because you had that vibe.
Man. So it's like when the time's right, when the stars align, things happen. But like, I'm not the motherfucker to force nothing. I don't like if like people who spend time with me, be around me. I don't make no plans. I don't. It's very day to day. Every plan I ever had like kind of got fucking ruined. So like, I'm a very day to day, go with the flow type individual. I might not work on music for a whole week. So I just don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I haven't dropped music since last August because like I truly.
So you don't force anything. You don't work on stuff unless you really feel like it.
I have been making music. I haven't stopped making music. but I spent so much time putting projects out and like making content, like 10 years, like doing that shit. I needed to relieve the fucking pressure for a little bit and just live life as like a normal human being. And like I did that, got the crib right, upgraded the crib, upgraded the whip, because I got some money put away, and like now I'm ready to kind of like get back into the rap shit, because like a lot of people won't talk about it when when it ain't popping. The rap shit is not like a fun like thing to like.
Oh right,
Right.
yeah. It's not always
get down
glamorous,
in,
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, especially just like times like this when
Yeah.
like your reach and your fucking like what you got going on is like there in your face. You got to see it. Like if you have a small reach, you're gonna see it. If you have a big reach, you're gonna see it.
Right.
Like right
You're
now.
gonna really feel it right now. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I detach myself from that shit.
Yeah.
It's like that shit'll drive anybody crazy. So like
Yeah.
I read, I paint, I fucking make beats. Whatever I'm feeling at the time is like what I'm gonna do. Like if I feel like writing a song, like the homies get on me because I don't be fucking making enough music, but like I do it. I just go where I go, and like, but when I do make the music, I take all that other shit I've been doing and like put it into that, and you hear it, and
Right.
it's dope. You know what I mean? That's like why people fuck with my shit.
Right. Like you said, you haven't put out a project since August, but you did release 2 albums in a few weeks last year.
Yeah.
So it's like when you obviously at that time you were to be writing and making music.
And that's why I'm comfortable not fucking putting music out for a year.
Right.
I got it. So it's like,
right.
You got there's plenty of shit you can go listen to. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Amateur Rockstar 1 and 2 out now, all streaming platforms. If you guys haven't checked it out,
too. The last song I dropped, Too Strong.
yes, Too Strong also.
Really dope joint.
2 personal favorites, Monterey and the Keys.
Monterey's always been a favorite. Yeah.
You fuck with the Keys. That's
I
like
love the Keys.
That's one of the first songs I wrote for that shit. Like back like in this room, recorded in this room. The desk was on that wall because like I just recently bought this couch and like that record player and shit, and like made this studio. This was like a shell of a fucking room for a while that I would just like sit here and record in. So I decided like I had to make it look good.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that was honestly that song. Like, it's stuck in my head all the time. I'm just like, they didn't want me to get this shit started, but I had the keys. I'm always just like, yeah, let's get it going.
Yeah, you showed me that one.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I had to flex on y'all. I did it with ease. That's how I'm always. That's just like in my head every so often when I'm flexing on somebody, which happens like a lot. So,
which happens a lot. Yeah.
Gotta.
What's your favorite song to perform?
Fuck up a pack.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I figured after I asked the question, I was like, it's definitely Fuck Up a Pack.
So you know what's funny?
Like,
I first heard that.
Pulled that from the rotation though, because it's a knockout song.
Right. So you don't perform knockout songs at all anymore?
Monterey was originally a knockout song. I re-released it on Amateur Rockstar 1 with the music video and shit. Like that music video was like a whole fucking headache for me, like for 3 months. But
yeah, I've actually, you know, it's funny. I think Hero's going through this right now. He had just rebranded himself as Hero the MC, and I think he's having issues re-releasing music under a different name.
Earlier, when I make decisions, it's split second. I don't think about shit. So I was in LA, and I was knockout. It was when I was living in LA. I was driving in a car. So people always like wonder about my Instagram name, K or Knasty, and people always say it wrong. Someone said Fork Knasty, K for K Nasty. It wouldn't be K for Nasty if the K was heard. It's all one word. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was driving in the car with fucking Glass House. He was still Kincaid. And I was like, I seen a Fendi ad, an ad on fucking Instagram for Fendi, and it said F.
Ooh, that targeted ad, dude. You're shopping high class.
Yeah, right.
It said F for Fendi. And I was like, yo, look at this. Because I would always call myself Nasty Knock, and I was like, yo, look at this. F for Fendi, K for Nasty would look really cool as an Instagram name. I'm going to call myself Nasty. He was like, yeah, bet. So boom.
Yeah,
I changed my name because I thought it would look cool as an Instagram name because I saw
It's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's
so
huge.
I got rid
So
of Knockout for 10 years of work and shit after a split-second decision looking on my phone in the car. That's just how I live life.
Yeah.
So did you find that process of
and I just go? You know what I mean?
is part of the re-release an issue with branding? Like, are you able to re-release the same song under a different name on Spotify? And like, does that give you issues, or is it
So like my
is it
YouTube
just an
channel,
artistic choice? I guess is my question.
No, I got 2 fucking Spotify accounts, so I can still control the Knockout shit. I phased the Knockout music out, so I don't pay for the Knockout releases anymore.
Okay.
So a lot of them have came down, and I just don't care to have them out because I'd rather concentrate it to what's dope.
And do you think it would be bad for him to release those songs again under Knasty, like so people could get those streams? Like,
well, like if you're hip and you like search my shit, you know that if you go to the Knasty YouTube channel, all the Knockout songs have
it'll be in there.
somehow magically. I didn't fucking do this.
Oh, really?
Themselves, because you know, like in your Gmail, you have like 3 accounts. I have 3 accounts, like, you know what I mean, like the Knockout account, my like the Knasty account, and like my personal.
Oh, so just merge them all on YouTube
all
because
those
it's
are on
Gmail.
the same tab. I don't know how. All the Knockout videos are on Knasty, so like I've only put out like 6 videos on Knasty, but it's got like 30 videos because it's got all the shit from when I was like 16 and 17. I just let it fly. I don't give a shit.
Oh, so actually, this was something I realized. I've been searching for you on YouTube in the past. I think there's another Knasty. He's like a guitar player or something.
There's an imposter.
Yeah.
Well, there's a new motherfucker on Spotify. At least it's like a rapper.
Oh, really?
Knasty, but I got the check, so.
Oh, you got the check. Good. Yeah, I was gonna say, because that's huge. Like when it comes to Google ability and stuff, like you want to be the one that comes up. If there's someone else
And
who's
that was
like,
a big thing, is because like when you search that nothing was coming up. You know what I mean? And like Knockout, even if there's 1 or 2 other Nasties, whatever, I'm always gonna be the fucking best.
Yeah.
Knockout has absolutely no search power.
Yeah, because it's gonna be like boxing videos.
Exactly.
So that's like exactly what it is.
The way I phrased it to like my friends was like, yo, like Knockout was fucking Pikachu. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right, shit.
Is that like that fucking level up I evolved? I had to like grow out of that shit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It wouldn't be a Knasty. That's why I kept the K, because it was Knasty Knockout. So it's still like it's a variation of what it was before.
Yeah.
It's not completely different. You know what I mean? I just cut some fucking shit out.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. How like
but I've never like explained that like on a platform before. That's just like
I never thought about that until now. But yeah, Googling Knockout would be, even if you were like a big, I mean, you are big obviously, but even if you were like, you know, Drake level famous, if you Google Knockout, you're gonna get Mike Tyson videos. Like,
well, I bet Drake had issues with Drake's cakes for a while. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then he figured it out. I'm sure.
He wiped those out on like year 3.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, right.
Once he did Versace,
I
it was
still in
done.
middle school when he had Drake's Cakes beat.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Drake's Cakes is a beat. Is that a?
No, I'm saying like when he beat them out. Like
yeah.
Oh, right.
He's been more famous than Drake's Cakes for like a long time.
True. Yeah, but still, I mean, they're also.
But yeah,
delicious.
that's interesting. Like a lot of artists have to think about that now. Like how Googleable is your name? You know, like you said, like Owen said, Hero had to change his name because Hero, like you Google Hero, you're not gonna get.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get the Avengers. Yeah, so
yeah.
Disney has all the heroes. You're not gonna beat Disney. It's impossible. Unless you say something like negative about Disney, then they're gonna spend a lot of money. You'll get that. You'll get those bucks.
I went to Disney. I was in Disney today last year.
Really?
They fucking scan your fingerprint like when you go in there. That's just what made me.
Oh right.
It's
do they really?
They do. I actually was there when they were doing that. That's like within the past like 10 years, I think they started doing that.
I didn't ever been arrested. Like it's the only database my fingerprints are in is Disney.
Yeah, you know what's funny?
One day and get caught up because of fucking my Disney trip.
Right.
Oh yeah. One of my buddies got a lock that like you get an app that you put your fingerprint in, and like the lock you unlock it with your fingerprint. And I was like, who owns that app? Like it just seems like someone's got your fingerprint
Right?
now. I don't
Well, like,
understand.
all the Apple phones got that, but I just don't use that shit.
No, I don't. Hey, folks, sound off in the comments if you use a fingerprint because you're a fool. We're gonna out you. Don't use your fingerprint scanner. It's wrong. You don't want anything in anything. Don't even spit on the ground. Someone could collect your DNA.
But fucking last year when I was there, this Dirtbag it just came out.
Yep.
And it was, like I said, like that shit like went crazy on Facebook, and it all happened in like 3 days, and it wasn't even like from the paid like post because you could see like the difference between organic and paid. Like it just
Right.
had this weird like share fucking stream where it just went nuts. And I was in Disney like out to eat with my family, and like I'm looking at my phone, had like 5,000 views, and then like the food comes and it's got like 8.
Yeah.
Like we eat and we're leaving, and I'm outside. I'm like, yo, this is like fucking 12.
That's crazy.
That is
like,
nuts.
By the hour, that shit was just going up.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And do you get like, I mean, I'm sure they tell you, does Spotify give you the whole data of like age group and like everything, like who's looking at your stuff?
See that shit.
Yeah, that's something huge. I mean, we even got to do that with the podcast.
Dudes my age. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see who views the podcast, the demographic. It's mostly males from age like 20 something to 35.
Yeah, that's like the Family Guy. That's the Bob's Burgers.
It was like 50-50 on like males and females forever, and like there was like a week where like males jumped up, like females jumped up like that 1%, and I was like, yes, but
yeah.
Got to put those soft sounds out there.
We had Flawless Real Talk on recently, and he was talking about how, because he was on that show Rhythm and Flow on Netflix recently, and he said before the show, his fan base was like 80-20 male, and since the show, it's been 80-20 female, which is crazy. Just because it like, I don't know. Just
probably because
he's got that boy band kind of look.
Yeah, he has that, and just like being on that stage, like he was kind of like a celebrity type. So it just like
I don't see a lot of straight males watching that show.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
that's true.
Sorry if y'all watched that.
No, I didn't even watch it, to be honest.
I figured I wouldn't be able to like handle the cringe of like that comes with that type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like American Idol basically for
like,
rap.
Oh, it is.
So,
Yeah.
That shit.
And like Flawless obviously did a good job, but I don't know who else was
And
on
like
there.
obviously he's not like a fucking corny rapper, like,
Right?
by any means. He's
right.
Fucking fire. You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, I'm sure there was some. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there were some corny rappers on there. I didn't waste my time with it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I watched a few episodes.
I watched his parts before our interview with him, but that was it.
Yeah, I didn't finish the season, but they did have. I mean, there were interesting parts of it, but I will say it was hollow as far as the judgment went.
Yeah.
Because they would always just be like, I feel you, but like your vibe is off. Like it was like they weren't really giving like good advice.
What are you telling me right now?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I that's actually why I didn't keep watching
like,
it. It was just boring a little bit.
Like there's only like like music can either like be like fucking bad or it's good where this isn't bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you hear it and it's like, all right, you're a fucking star. So it's like
yeah.
There's really kind of like no in between. So it's like, how do you even like judge a motherfucker on a song?
Right.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, for someone to even get recognized by some studio to get on a show, you have some production value to yourself. So it's like those people don't need to win this competition. You can stay out like doing your thing. But obviously it's exposure. I mean, that's like what American Idol was. Obviously like, people looking for their 15 seconds of fame.
Fucking call, like I'm fucking going to do it. Like, who's not going to be on Netflix? You know what I mean?
Oh, of course. And I mean, I wouldn't say the show was a joke either. Like, it definitely had like its serious elements. Like, obviously, Flawless Real Talk like dominated Beans in their battle. But like, as far as like when I was watching the show, it going through like the audition phase, it was just it was like particularly cringeworthy of people like going up in front of 3 judges and just like or was it 4? Geez, I don't know. There was a guest
To
judge.
be honest, my favorite part of American Idol was always the auditions and the people who sucked.
Yeah, you
Like,
want to
that
see
was
someone
always-
do horrible. Yeah,
it was
that's
just
what they were
so
trying to do.
entertaining, which is, I don't know if that makes me a bad person that I enjoy watching people like fuck up, but that part was always entertaining to me.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I see what they were getting at too, like by putting a rap competition on TV,
Oh,
because there's
it's
really
a good
nothing like
concept,
that.
yeah.
Like we have Wild and Out, that's a joke. Like there's nothing like, and there was
Yeah,
Yo Mama,
absolutely.
that's a joke. That wasn't even like rap, but that like
I
there's
forgot about that.
there's just so many, like there's nothing that really portrays, like at least on mainstream TV, because there are like battle leagues and stuff, but and even those it's prepared verses. I don't know. It just seems like you could. There's like nothing. It's really hard to do authentic rap competitions, I think, because it's subjective to genre. There's different genres in rap. There's different ways people deliver their lines, the lyric content, and like it's not like in American Idol where you're just judging like, can this person sing this song that already exists really well? They don't do any original songs in American Idol or like
No,
The
they don't.
Voice. So that's like it's the levels in which you're trying to judge rap. I think just you can't do it like cleanly in a show. So I mean, I
Yeah.
think they did their best in Rhythm and Flow, and like that's the best we've probably seen so far. If someone thinks of an example, sound off in the comments and make me look stupid. But I'm pretty sure that Rhythm and Flow is the best one so far. But I did yeah, but
It
it
was
is
all
really
right.
hard. It is really hard to judge rap like on face value per person. Like if you were going to put 10 people up and say like who was the best, and they all had different
Unless-
kinds of
yeah.
songs, like how do you know who really was the best? Because they all might have like a million different people each saying that they're awesome. So it's like it is what it is. But I mean that's like it's circumstantial.
Yeah. I like the battles. The battles were cool.
Those are fun. It is fun when you hear people talk shit. Actually, have you attended battles locally? I know we had a few.
Yeah,
things.
no, you were at you were one of the judges at Eastie's battle.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, geez.
Yeah. Yep.
So were you?
I just remembered that.
Yeah.
That's
but
funny.
Eastie knows that, he fucked up.
Hey,
That was a tough one.
That was a tough one. He started out strong, but he forgot his lines. He was
hey, it happens. It's on video. It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
But,
It is. Yeah,
That was a good night.
that was a good night.
Battle was fire.
Locke came like I didn't expect him to go that hard, honestly.
So,
But,
oh my God, who was the guy? Was it Notch? Were you at that one?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I watched it. That's
Wait,
so
which
funny.
one?
The
Oh,
guy
is-
who he basically like
The
Wait.
Los Fidel one.
Yeah.
The one where he had a breakdown and left. Yeah.
Yes, because Los Fidel heard him rehearsing his verse in the parking lot, so he like
Right.
Like the thing, nobody knows this. I went outside and I was smoking in the whip, and like I seen Los, and I just like skewed him, and it was like, yo, like come hit this, and he sat down in the whip when we was steaming, and Notch walks by the car, and I forgot about this till you even just said it. Notch walks by the car and starts rehearsing. I'm like, yo, and we just cracked the windows. And
unbelievable. I can't believe that,
That's amazing.
Shout out Los Fidel.
dude. Notch.
Hey,
Why are you rehearsing in the
he-
parking lot?
He didn't
Yeah.
ask for that. He didn't ask for that. He was not out there like scheming. You know what I mean? That shit fell into his lap. He was an opportunist, and he took
Yeah.
that shit. And like he didn't hear it. It's not like he heard the whole verse.
But yeah,
Like he heard those
the baby
bars that-
porcupine line.
He heard those bars that Notch wanted to make sure he got off that were not good, but like he
Yeah.
was sitting there just like repeating that shit over and over, and he'd be like, "What the fuck did he say?" And be like, "I don't know," and he'd say it again. And he just fucking wrote. the
You're
shit
only
down.
a little sharp like a baby porcupine.
Oh man,
Can't
that
be
was.
mad at him.
Yeah, I mean-
oh, absolutely. That was amazing.
It's funny because a lot of that does have to do with like the way you carry yourself. And I was even saying this about like the Beans flawless battle. You could see like in Beans's eyes, she knew she lost like as he was rapping. And like you could see as Notch was delivering his lines, like he was frustrated. Like this is like I lost and I'm trying to finish this
Yeah.
bar. And then like, but
Yeah.
then he rapped the bar after Los had already told him.
And
what
then he
was
took it
about
out
to
on the
say.
crowd.
Yeah, and then he left, and it's just, I mean, that's just funny. That's just funny stuff. I think it's hilarious. I think local battle leagues.
That video is classic.
Shout out him though for like doing it in the first place. Battling is like so hard, and you're exposing yourself. Like, so I'm not like shitting on him for real, but it's just like, it's just hilarious. That situation is just objectively hilarious because I mean, how often does a battle rapper like get his own verse recited to him before he says it, and then he still says it? Like, why would you?
And then he still said it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, how? I mean, that's
I don't know.
hysterical. That's But anyways, we're getting on a tangent here.
We are
Just
reminiscing.
yeah, we need more battles again. Let's do.
I know,
let's
seriously.
do Zoom battles.
We just need something. Shows, battles, anything.
I was thinking about that. If these battle leagues are gonna start cranking out fucking Zoom battles.
Yeah.
They could do it. They could definitely do it. I mean,
That would be
different.
tough, dude. I don't know.
Imagine trying to
be-
swing on someone,
There's
you're just like punching your.
you can't-
No crowd reaction?
Yeah, you can't bring 50 of your homies. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Who's gonna hype you up? It's just.
It would
gonna
just be
like,
weird with like not hearing crowd reactions. You know what I mean? Like they say they're gonna have sports without fans. Like
Yeah.
it
Have
would
you
just be
seen the
weird.
wrestling without fans? It's
I've been
No.
watching
It's so
a lot
funny.
Of the UFC fights.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God! Did you hear the
But what's
audio of those
crazy is,
fights?
like these motherfuckers are getting it. Like I ain't seen a bad fight yet.
Yeah. Do you see the Anthony Smith one?
So how are they allowed to fight?
Florida.
Is it Florida? I thought they got an
Florida.
island. Is
Jackson.
that it?
No, they're
Oh,
fully in Jacksonville.
that's hysterical.
And they're just allowed to? They're just like
well, it's like it's an empty arena.
One of the
Yeah.
fucking
Such a waste of
because
money.
here they won't even let some players like shoot hoops at the
Dude, one
they
of the
can't.
fucking fighters tested positive. He was at the weigh-in. He fucking gave Dana White knuckles. And
No.
Not to mention these guys are like all over each other, like bleeding on each other and shit.
And
You know
then,
what I
like,
mean?
The last one that took place, like with fans, like before the shutdown, I heard Dana White in an interview, and they were like, "Did you think like COVID was gonna affect like fans showing up to like the shit?" And he was like, "Hell no." He was like, "We had a fight the week of 9/11, and like that shit was sold out in Vegas. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Our fans show up." And one of the fighters was like straight Chinese, and she couldn't go home like the whole month. She had to stay here and train like for that fight. It's just crazy because like that shit definitely should not have happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh shit, and it did, and like it was because we were trying to hold on to like society for like as long as we could, but then we just had to be like, nah, like we gotta fucking shut this shit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you can't just be throwing people in arenas like with full capacity just because. And I mean, that's like even 200 people at the Middle East, like, and upstairs is going to be probably a question. Like, so imagine 20,000 people in an arena. It's like that could spread like to a whole city in a night. Like if you just got one person spreading it in an arena. So
some crazy shit. It's like wild to even like talk about this like on here. Fucking
yeah.
The job I work, like I said, like I was renting like microphones to fucking conferences and yada yada. One of the biggest outbreaks in Boston was a fucking conference at a hotel that like
Biogen.
that I deliver to frequently. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no.
Wow.
So like I'm thinking like I seen it, and then like I was like, oh, they're definitely gonna talk about this at work tomorrow, and then like nobody said shit. So then I started asking like motherfuckers, I'm like, yo, how is there an outbreak at a Boston conference? And like that is our bread and butter, and ain't nobody talking about it. So
Right.
like I was in the system looking up shit like, yo, like do we have fucking stuff here? And like there was mad dead ends because like if a customer picks the shit up, we don't know for sure where it went, but like it definitely went to that fucking building.
Oh
Like
man.
in the fucking audio department, like with the fucking microphones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just like crazy situation.
Yeah, you guys gotta
It
like
got like very
spray them all
real
down.
very fast, and then my fear is kind of like subsided now. It's just like whatever. I'm surprised I ain't got it yet, to be honest.
Same. Honestly, same.
I actually think I may have gotten it when I came back from a trip at the beginning of this. Yeah, I was down for like a week and a half, and then I came back.
My first week of lockdown at Camp Front, I was sick as fuck, but it definitely wasn't no corona.
Mm.
So it was just normal shit. I was just stuffed up and like coughing.
Yeah, it happens.
No
I mean,
fever or nothing.
Yeah, but
It
that's
is
the
the
thing.
season.
Like,
I'm not the type to get sick a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I did get it, I'd be the motherfucker not showing symptoms and just giving it to everybody else.
it's
yeah,
true. Yeah. Which is that's what's scary about
And
it.
like
Yeah.
now, I'm still
Right.
like going to work every day. You know what I mean? It's like I'm still out in the world.
yeah.
Mm.
No, I'm still going to work. Like,
I'm still like
if I was gonna get it, I would have got it by now. I feel like I don't know.
I'll be in the studio. It's like with like certain people that like I know like aren't like out and about and shit.
yeah,
Mm.
Certain people, I'm surprised I didn't have it yet.
yeah.
Motherfuckers just be out there. I got friends in Texas and like rap friends, and Texas is just open, and these motherfuckers are going to like CD releases in
Oh,
stores
really?
and shit. Like motherfuckers deep as fuck, like just mobbing out. Like
Oh
Wow.
wow.
it's busy.
I didn't know anywhere was doing that.
I seen like I was bugged out when I seen my homie eating at a restaurant on his IG story the other day.
Oh,
And
way.
it's crazy that's like what the world
Where?
to.
Texas?
In Texas,
Wow.
Lance was sitting at a table in a restaurant. How crazy is that? And he was on Instagram. He was in
I
a
did not
restaurant.
know they were allowing that. That's
Isn't it crazy that we think it's crazy that someone's eating at a restaurant? Yeah.
on Instagram.
Right?
It's fucked up.
Like, go home.
It's
Stay
fucked
inside.
up.
What's going on? How are we here
That is
right
nuts.
That's about
Yeah,
all
what
I
a
just
world
want
we're
is
living in.
fucking tacos. Just want some fucking tacos. That's it.
Yeah, I'm actually dying for some sushi too. Because I'm
Tacos would
like,
be
I
good.
wouldn't eat
I've been
sushi.
ordering sushi. Fucking, they
You
got like
have?
a few spots. Yeah.
Is Fuji?
Spots
Well,
right
no,
now.
you're not in Quincy right now, right?
Rock, yeah.
I was gonna say Fuji just opened, and I'm like thinking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I want to get something from there, but I'm like, I
ramen
don't know.
spots in Quincy, like my main like sushi ramen spots, Hakata ramen in North Quincy. And it's just fire.
Yeah, I mean Quincy's authentic as it gets. They,
True.
A lot of good cuisine.
Yeah.
Shout out to Quincy.
Quincy's good. Quincy's real good.
City of
It's like-
I'm
Presidents.
trying to get back. I'm only gonna live out here for like a few more months. I'm gonna be living in Quincy again. Restore order.
Faux show. Hey, at least you're in the
Yeah.
area.
That's where
Brockton's right off the highway.
studio's at.
Yeah, it's not far.
The studio's in West Quincy. That's like
Mm.
my middle school just got knocked down, so like I gotta look at this new big building that like I didn't get to enjoy. So it is what it is. But yeah, it was like I was telling the homie the other day. I'm just like so comfortable in Quincy. Like I was speaking about like West Quincy specifically, but like anywhere. Like I know if I'm in Quincy like cruising or like in and out of a store, like no one's ever gonna fuck with me, like get in my way for like some dumb shit. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna have to like deal with no bullshit in Quincy. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna be straight.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have like that local root. It always feels good when you're like, this is my town. I live here. People know who I am. Like, it is nice.
First Dunkin' Donuts is in Quincy.
Oh yeah, and they kept that.
Motherfuckers don't know I worked at Dunkin' Donuts for like 5 years.
You worked at Dunkin' Donuts?
High school and college, bro. Dunkin' Donuts like held me down.
Did you work at the original one?
Nah, I worked at the end of Wollaston Beach and in the
Okay.
gallery by Quincy High.
How many Dunkin' Donuts are there in Quincy? There's one like every mile.
Probably a stupid amount, but I was selling hella weed out that motherfucker. Every day. Only reason I held that job for so long is because I knew I could trap out that motherfucker.
Shout out the statute of limitations.
If you came and like you knew.
Would you put the weed like in the Dunkin' Donuts bag?
No, in a hot cup under the iced coffee.
There you
Okay.
And, like,
There you go.
I tell the homies just get in line, and boom, like what you want, get in line, hand it to you, cash in my pocket. I'd charge like a fucking donut and like replace the money later. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And like cops was in and out that store all the time, so like it didn't matter who was in there. I was getting popped.
Wow. That's a great story.
Very interesting. Yeah.
That is a great story. I saw something recently that a guy got fired from his McDonald's job because he was putting his mixtapes in the Happy Meals or something.
I wish they would have fired me. That would have been a fucking.
Yeah. That would have been a good idea. Put Put like a USB with your music in it.
You know what's crazy is like I had another job too. I was a runner for Live Nation. So like I would pull up to the Xfinity Center or fucking the Bank of America Pavilion in the Seaport at like 7, 8 in the morning and get assigned to a tour manager for like whatever big artist like was fucking there. And I only did it like 3 times, but I was like Sting's like personal like runner for the day. So all
That's
day I was
dope.
like in Corn. You know, like the band Corn.
Yep.
My first day I was driving around the fucking lead guitarist from Corn in my personal car all day. Because they called me and they were like, "What kind of car do you have?" I was like, "A Cadillac." And they're like, "Oh, word, we're not even gonna get you a rental."
Nice.
Like chauffeured this dude around in my fucking Cadillac like all day. And like picking up their fucking laundry.
Is that what you drive right now, or is that old?
Well, as long as I've had the choice, I've driven 3 Cadillacs. So as long as I've had the
Damn.
choice of like what I drive, it's been a Cadillac. And like right now, my fucking like my baby's in the shop, so I got a fucking 2020 like Cadillac truck.
Okay.
It's like
Like the
Nice.
Escalade hatchback type deal, or is it?
it's the SUV. It's a CT5.
Oh, okay.
XT5,
Nice.
XT5. Yeah,
Damn.
but I drive a Cadillac ATS.
Nice.
Fucking my shit.
Yeah, staying fresh.
Shout out Outcast. Freddie Gibbs inspired me to fucking drive Cadillacs. You know what I mean?
Word.
Gotta keep it gangster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun fact: when my family went to California, only time I've been to California, we rented a Pearl Cadillac Escalade,
Yeah.
and we just drove around like we were big shots, and it was fun.
Yeah,
Shout out to Cadillac.
Yeah, shout out Cadillac.
top of the line type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, shout out pearl colored cars. If you have a pearl car,
My first one was fucking beige, like khaki color, so it was like a straight
that's nice too.
grandpa car.
I mean, that's
Right.
nice too.
But it was like a 2005. This was like I bought it when I was like 20.
Yeah.
2005 Cadillac STS, but it had like every like feature Cadillac had to offer that year. So it had like air conditioned seats, heated steering wheel, like crazy shit, like for a fucking 2005. Like I was expecting it. I was expecting a straight hoopty. I wasn't expecting shit like out of the shit because like my buddy had a car, like a caddy from the same year, and it just didn't really have like the same features. But then I got this one, and it had like all.
Did you get that at a
wild shit.
dealership or from somebody?
Just fucking West Quincy.
Oh, you just found someone.
I was driving through West Quincy back to apartment 7, and I'd seen a fucking caddy, same color, like year, make, model as the homies. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna go buy that. I got it.
Damn.
Nice.
And Apartment 7, that's a is that a track or an album?
That's the album. That's the
Yeah.
and Millie's is on that shit.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one Millie's is on.
I got the cover. Fucking tattoo.
Oh, word.
So that door. So that's the door, apartment 7.
Oh, okay.
The square was the album cover. I had the graffiti put in like on the tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
4 years ago. That was like just like the pad. So like I just figured like why not like write a little project about it. So like I don't even know if it's up anymore. But like if you listen to it, it's just got like all like the fucking the apartment references. I'm talking about like chilling on the couch, like doing this and that, like motherfucker, like the landlord knocking on the door because the music's too loud and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, do your landlord live like next door or something?
No, it was a building, but like he was always in there working on apartments. So if he was there and like he popped up, he was always just like banging on the door, fucking with us. So I had like skits on the album, like motherfuckers banging on the door and shit. So it was just like
That's dope.
very dope.
So it's like it was real organic.
I got like the cassettes made for it. I think I got one right here.
I love cassettes. Shout out cassettes.
Man.
I miss those days.
You're right.
Popping a cassette in the car.
The
would
90s.
just beat that. Yeah, it would just be like, see it? And then you'd start playing Steven Tyler.
We get some ASMR. I'll fucking pop the plastic off this shit.
Oh man, dude, you don't have to do that. Oh my god.
I gotta open my phone. I gotta see this shit.
Oh wow.
Like that was like the back cover with the track list, but we made it the alternate cover for
Yeah.
the cassette.
Oh, damn. So
That's
if you're
dope.
listening right now, release your next album on cassette
Yeah, let's bring back cassettes.
exclusively.
See
Dude, that's
through
dope.
red.
So what made you
So
decide
shiny.
to what made you decide to have it on cassette?
Keep it play.
Who
Yeah.
printed those for you, by the way? Did you have to
Um,
reach out to somebody, or did you
Yeah. A long ass internet search through
Really?
like, a lot of dead ends, and it took me like a couple weeks, like just like on the internet to find like normally like everything's right in our faces. Anything you want to do, you
Yeah.
can get done pretty fast. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's surprising to me that there's not like an obvious service that would like make a cassette for you.
But it's like you can get a fucking cassette press. Like I got homies that got like cassette presses and make their own shit in house. You know what I mean? Print up the cards themselves and all that.
Damn, that's awesome though. I mean, I love all that throwback stuff. I mean, people are like member burying the shit out of the world right now. Like, so they're just like, get it on vinyl, get it on cassette. But I mean, like it's sick to put it in. Like, I mean, it's one thing to just press play on Spotify or YouTube or whatever, but like
Yeah.
to actually have that cassette and like pop it in and have it play is like such a feel. I don't know. It's just, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe that's just because we grew up with that, but it's
Mhm.
something that like I think you really kind of you're like, all right, now I'm gonna have to skip towards the next track and skip to
So
the
for all
next
you
track.
for all
This
youngins
was
out
a
there listening,
gift.
cassettes came before CDs.
They're like
Just explaining
VHSs
that.
if you know about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Is this
They
vinyl?
probably don't.
The one and only.
You got one
That's
vinyl for
awesome.
Apartment
One and
7?
only.
Damn. Skrelly bucks if you want that. Times 10.
Yeah.
And it's got like
$1 million.
pictures of me performing at the Middle East on it.
That's dope.
If you can see it, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, I can't really see, but
That's
I
dope.
believe you.
It was a gift from like my homie's fiance a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
She got
Damn.
it for me for my birthday.
Hell yeah. Put that in a
I
frame.
forgot.
That's probably worth more than a platinum record.
Right?
Just something
I
personal.
got some pretty dope records over there, but this is definitely one of the coolest. It's me.
So I probably should have asked this before, but just speaking of records, would you do a song with the Palmer Squares? Like, do you feel like your
have
vibes
one.
line? You have one. Oh,
But it's just like I had this random ass beat that like I just sent them, and like I said, if you do a song with a motherfucker, you end up doing all the work. Like I fucking made them like do that, and like I just sent them a beat, and I was like, please put something on this. It's a dope beat, and like they did, and like I put a verse on it, and like it didn't make sense to just drop it. You know what I mean? And, like
When was
just,
this?
like probably like a year and a half ago. I'll
Okay.
send it to y'all. Y'all can hear it.
Yeah.
hell yeah, dude!
love
I
to.
love that.
I gotta find it's probably not. It's not even on this laptop. It's on the raggedy ass desktop that's behind it. So I gotta turn that on.
Gotta dig it up.
I haven't turned that on in probably like 8 months. So if it's
Hopefully the fans are still working.
right, it's a Mac, so it should turn on, but who knows if it'll work.
Yeah, I only asked that because I was curious. Like, I know a lot of your vibes are like turn up stuff, and like they have like their turn up stuff, like, and they have like knowledge over swag and certain stuff like that. But like I was curious if you felt that your vibes lined up, but I feel like you would definitely find a common ground between.
Yeah.
I feel like
you.
both you are pretty versatile. Like you could figure it out.
Like I was saying, it's like a big thing, like conversation I have with myself right now is like, where do I go with it? Do I go this way or that way, or just say fucking do both and like put crazy vibes on the project next to each other? Or do I do all turn up shit and then do like a project like Elevator with all like slower shit? And like it's hard to like pick because like I just like have so much fun doing all of them, but like I definitely gravitate more towards the turn up shit. I have a lot more fun recording them, performing them, listening to them. You know what I mean? So it's like, but like as far as they go, like I like they don't have any influences. They don't bear any influences. If you talk to them about that shit, they'll tell you like they don't even listen to music.
Yeah,
Really?
I've mentioned that, I think, without naming them specifically because I talk about them too much. But I've said like they try not to take influence from other rappers. Like,
They don't listen to music.
Yeah, you can find that on their Twitter AMAs that they did the videos of. I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like talk radio and like podcasts and shit.
Hmm.
But those are the guys. Yeah, I mean, I never would have thought like I would have called them like the homies. You know what I mean? Like I was in fucking high school, like going crazy on YouTube watching their shit. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
do a tweet. Like if motherfuckers know me, I'd be pulling up with some weed, and like I always got enough to share. So like even if I'm out of state, like 1,000 miles away from home, I always got some weed. So
Yeah.
someone I was with was like, "Yo, Palmer Squares just tweeted they need some weed." I was like, "Bet." Made it happen.
Yeah, they're so funny because
They were
like
staying in the room underneath ours on the fucking floor below us.
that works
Damn.
out.
In the
Yeah.
same hotel. We met up, and we was like, all right, like they came and see me perform, which was like insane. Like they were standing in the crowd while I performed.
Yeah.
That was just nuts. But they had a homie who was doing a show on that same street, so it was like, all right, peace. We'll link up later. Where y'all staying? This hotel. Is like us two. Like what room? 412. I was like, fuck, like we're 512. So like, you know what I mean? Let's get it. And we
You start stepping on the floor hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, they're like I discovered them like a friend from school was like, check out these guys, and they just seem so genuine. Like it was like I was already into rap at that point. Like I mean,
They're super
rap's
dope.
like yeah, and I mean just when and I remember hearing I remember hearing about you on their podcast, and I was like, I've seen Knockout. I know that name. Like that's a
That's
Boston
awesome.
guy. And they actually played at the end of their podcast, Fuck Up a Pack. So I was like,
really?
Who's this guy?
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, and I remember thinking, I'm like, oh my God. And then I saw you like at their show, and I remember just, I like made all the connections in my head, like that you guys really knew each other. And I was like, oh my God, that is hilarious. I mean, it's just such a small world. Cause like, I was like,
they like came out here, like some like parallel with my kitchen island. You can't see it, but like I don't even have a fucking door on this room, but like straight out there is my kitchen and like the island, and like we just sat there and got fucked up till like fucking 4 or 5 in the morning. We killed a fucking 30 rack of beers and just kicked it. Like those the guys, you know what I mean? I'll let them in my crib like anytime, and like they fuck with me to the point where like my roommate who lives here, that's my best friend. They don't know that, you know what I mean? He was in Chicago and needed weed. I called them and was like, yo, I know this is fucking crazy. It's like, but like my best friend, like my brother, my man's like, I wouldn't send like some weirdo to your crib. Like my best friend's in Chicago. He needs some weed. He's a big fan of yours. Like it would just even be nuts for like him to meet y'all. Oh yeah, tell him come by.
That's awesome.
He was just in their house. You know what I mean? So
That's
like,
awesome.
It's just like the length it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem like real solid dudes.
Oh yeah.
That's great. And I think like that's conducive to just like a good environment in music in general. And like when artists work together and are friendly and are willing to just like, hey, when you're in this city, you can always hit me up. Like kind of
like at that point we don't even need a song together. You know what I mean? Like it'd be dope,
Yeah.
and I would love to. When I do a song with them, I want it to be a video with the three of us, just giving motherfuckers bars. You know what I mean? I don't want to make a song with them.
Oh, dude, get in on a one take. I don't know if they got one takes with other people.
That's what I'm saying. I think I want to do it like that. But,
hey, you're about to upgrade on that camera swag. I don't know if that's a secret, but I want, yeah, dude.
Definitely just trying to like expand the stock as an artist anywhere I can. Just like do more shit on my own.
Yeah, for sure. It's a
fucking time on my hands.
Yeah, right now is the time to create. I mean, do you ever work with like animation in your videos at all, or is that like have you?
I would if I found like the right motherfucker who's actually gonna like animate me and not just like use some stock like stolen shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Or also, I was gonna say like animating yourself is actually next level. I was thinking of just kind of like almost like Dragon Ball Z type, like when you move, like something like follows your arm, like kind of thing, like animations.
A little bit in the Monterey video.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
So like more subtle, I guess. Yeah.
I think a lot of people like reach on that shit though. It's like
okay
used now.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, that was just an example, but I know like you can definitely emphasize a little more like what you're trying to say through like
I
certain
like the
types of
dance
animations.
videos with that shit. Yeah, like,
Oh, right. Yeah, with
less
that.
for like a rap video, but like I've been seeing like TikTok dance videos where motherfuckers will go in and do that like edit animation. Like that's just not easy because like every frame you have to
Yeah.
draw that shit in. It's like it's a lot. So like
Yeah, and to get that to actually look
streamlined.
natural to the human eye is like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's tedious. It's like claymation. That's crazy. I mean, so we don't have to keep you all night. Do you have is there anything you wanted to shout out, or is there anything you wanted to talk about specifically before we sign out?
I mean, you might get a project this summer if I'm feeling it. You might not.
Word.
I
If you feel like it.
Yeah, we got some
plenty of
stuff in the
music.
vault.
Yeah, I got plenty of music. This week I feel like dropping it. Next week I might not. So who
So we'll
knows?
see
But
what happens.
when I do drop, it will be freak show and it will be fun as fucking like turned up. Like might get
Word.
some girls in between there, but
Definitely looking forward to that.
I haven't dropped for so long. So like if I just throw anything out now, it's like what's the point? So like everything's got to be polished. Like I took my time for a reason. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Looking forward to it.
That's about it. And like you might. So one thing I might start doing is like beat tapes and like just like making beats like with no purpose of anybody rapping on them and just like vibe out to. Just because I have a lot of fun doing that shit.
That's dope.
That's what
I'm a
all
big
about.
fan of beat tapes.
Hell yeah. So like I wake up in the morning. That's what I do. Like I plug in my sampler and like start chopping up samples. Like my brain's not really ready to like write and record yet. So like just work
Okay.
on that. And like writing gets like tedious and tiring. So like when like I'm spent on like the that aspect of like making songs, I'll just like make beats. Because
Word.
I'm so new to it, there's no pressure. It's just something.
Yeah,
I
you're
do,
just
you know
you're
what I mean?
experimenting, learning things.
Yeah.
Word. Well, we're looking forward to whatever comes out next, whatever you decide to cook up next,
Hell yeah.
and whatever shows, whenever that
Hopefully
happens.
we
I
can do it
mean,
sooner than later.
yeah,
Yeah, hopefully we get a
Jumping off
rescheduled
some
date.
stages and
yeah. Hopefully that all happens soon enough because we all need it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So we can find you at K for Nasty on
K for
Instagram.
Knasty.
Is that everywhere? Like on
I'm gonna
Twitter?
say the K. You can call me K, not K Nasty.
Yeah, don't do it, folks. If you do
K
it,
for Nasty
don't.
on Twitter and Instagram. It's but yeah, if like I'm not gonna like call you out, but I'll forever be looking at you sideways if you call me K Nasty, and that's a fact. You know what I mean? It's on the hat.
K Nasty.
I think it's pretty obvious, like what you're looking
K
for.
K Fork
Get your
Nasty.
hoodies, you know what I mean? Bro, a
Word.
rapper
Those are
called me
fire.
that. A rapper called me that in a video. He was calling me out to rap, and I wouldn't have done it anyway.
Yeah.
It was trash. But then he called me Fork Nasty.
Fork Nasty. Oh my God.
Tight.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, some people just
How are you
can't
gonna call
read.
someone out if you don't even know how to pronounce their name?
I was livid. I was like,
Yeah.
It's funny because you are kind of giving a little bit of a grammar lesson in the name, just like K for nasty. And
Right.
people are like, Fork
No,
nasty, or like
when-
you're
when people
ignoring the
say
first
it,
letter.
I'm like, can you read?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Is there a
I feel like
hyphen?
it's not that hard to figure
Is
out.
there-
It's really
Is
not.
there a space? Is there a hyphen?
Right.
Say me.
Yeah, and they obviously
Yeah,
actually,
say knee, say knockout. Like
Yeah.
this is, the KN thing is nothing new.
And it's people that have been around. And it's,
Right.
come on. Like, can you not see the creativity in it?
Knife,
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyways, people, get it straight.
Yeah, right.
If you haven't. So, but yeah, thank you for coming on. This is awesome.
Yeah,
We're
man, we
looking forward
appreciate
to
it.
everything you have coming out
Appreciate
soon.
it,
So yeah, we'll definitely stay tuned. Everybody, check it out. K for Nasty everywhere.
Peace.
Thank you. Peace.